Brothers and sisters, how you doing? This is your brother Faruq Hunter from the Freedom Nation. And today I want to talk about something that is kind of, seems to be a sensitive issue. We've known about it for a long time. That's Asian businesses in the black community. Now, we know and we've seen and we've dealt with all types of Asian business in the black community. We've seen them basically get rich, establish themselves inside of our country, take care of their families based on our dollar, putting us in squalor. I mean, because we see selling alcohol, we see them selling cheap goods. If you need something for your hair tomorrow, dark and lovely even, you're going to go to an Asian store to get it. And every time we go in those stores, we get treated badly. We get spoken to in bad ways. People follow you around the store. There's absolutely no trust. A set of people who are benefiting from your money, not trusting you when you go in. And this has built up a lot of tension between black people and Asian people. A lot of us define our entire construct on how we deal with Asian people based on the interactions in the United States. And just recently, my wife, she sent me this piece, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's going around the internet. There's a lady here. Her handle is Circus Fairy. I don't know what the hell that means, but Circus Fairy. And she's been dropping some nuggets about how the laws meant to make it easier for black people to operate in the U.S. benefited Asian Americans, and how Asian Americans owe a debt to African Americans. But in her video, she kind of just doesn't describe the problem. She describes the problem and a solution, and her solution is garbage and poo-poo. And I'm going to tell you, from a Freedom Nation perspective, we've got something a hell of a lot better. I want to share with you exactly what I know is the solution. That's us solving our problems, right? What I know is a solution. But first of all, I'm going to give the sister the floor.
Asian American businesses have been operating in black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965 to put immigrants in the way of black people. And this idea that the tension between business owners and customers is one of mutual cultural misunderstanding that could be overcome if they just got to know each other better, the time for that has long passed. And as I've said before, the problem with framing the misunderstanding as mutual is where one demographic owns the businesses and the other demographic has to pay. There's no mutuality. There is a power imbalance. The only situation that I could see being beneficial at this point would require Asian Americans to be willing to leverage their ability to secure the business loans, to secure supplier accounts, and to attain business licenses to open in black communities.
All right, let's stop right there. Look, I want to explain to you what I'm hearing, because sometimes we hear this stuff and we ain't paying attention to it. Her solution involves Asian Americans leveraging their status, their ability to gain loans that should be meant, that is safe for minority businesses, for them to start businesses, to then turn around and hire us as their employees. Okay, Asian Americans to hire black Americans by using American taxpayer money that comes from you in order to hire you and then teach you how to be leaders in your own damn community. Hell no. That doesn't make any sense. Let's go deeper. First of all, every time you look at a problem, you're thinking about the money. You're thinking about, the taxpayer money, whatever. Listen, we don't necessarily have to access that money. We have our abilities to do so, but there are black businesses that are busting their butt every day to get things done. It's not the inability. They're selling you on the fact is lack of access to capital. That's the thing. But listen, if you tell me what she's saying, now let's take the rest of it. Take the capital. She said to get supplier accounts. She said to get supplier accounts. That's what she said. She said, get supplier accounts. What's a supplier account? That's when you go to a wholesaler or you go out to a manufacturer and you get an account. Now that's somebody who manufactures something somewhere else, and after they manufactured it somewhere else, they gave it to a wholesaler. They give them it's not like a federal law or nothing like that. It's their own internal law that they will sell to you for a certain price. There's nothing, I want you to hear me, because a lot of us don't know this. There's nothing in the United States that restricts a company that sells things cheaper from selling them directly to you. Absolutely nothing. If they say they're going to give you a supplier account, that's an internal concept that they came up with so that they don't have their customers have to compete with the customers of their customers. And that's a stopgap that they put in place. So if it's a white company that owns that wholesaler, if it's an Asian company that owns a wholesaler, they are restricting and limiting who has access to those supplier accounts. Well, first of all, we don't give a damn about your supplier accounts. What we care about is the supply. We want to be touched to the supply. We want to know where it comes from. Don't tell me that you're going to sell me a t-shirt. Tell me where you picked the cotton. Don't tell me that you're going to give me some pipes from my house. Tell me exactly what oil well the PVC came from. That petrochemicals. This is what we want to know. This is the thing that helps us. It doesn't help us for you just simply to do that. So I'm going to combat her construct right here, right? By telling that that's not the way. We don't want to be your employee. What we want you to do, and this is part one of a real solution, is we want you to give us access. And we don't necessarily have to beg for this access. We want access to the core. And we don't want anyone to stand in our way about access to the core. We want to be able to go directly to the source of a thing and purchase it. We want access to low-cost shipping. We want access to everything that gets that product in front of our black community so that they can put those dollars back into our system. That's what we want. And we want it also to put it in front of every other community in the United States and do what you're doing by making our dollar. We want to make your dollar. And quite frankly, we want to do something bigger. We want access to be able to take that product and put it back in your country. Because see, you said Asian American. That means you got a continent. And you talking about the totality of everybody from Southeast Asia, Central Asia, all up. We want to take our products and we want to gain access to your markets. And we want to be that black business in the Asian community in Asia. This is the power move. You're going to tell me the best thing that I can possibly hope to achieve is that you, as an Asian American, would take money and put a business in my community and hire me as a privilege to make money from me. Hell no. I want access to your core. If you can go back to Korea and you can talk to other Koreans, if you can go back to China and talk to other Chinese, if you can go back to Malaysia, talk to other Malay, and you can speak with them, or in the Philippines or in Vietnam or Thailand, and you can speak with them in your language and you can gain special prices and access, I want that level of access. I want that, right? That's what I want. So if you're gonna give me something, give me that. Let's let her talk some more. Let's see what she got going on.
Specifically to hire black people to work in the businesses and to provide the professional development opportunities so that black people can become the leadership in the businesses in their communities. But I don't have a lot of hope that Asian Americans are willing to do that because the Asian American business owners that we see currently are not even willing to treat their black customers as human. So I fully support black people boycotting these problematic businesses in their community. And I want to say that I think another thing that non-black people aren't aware of is that it is not as simple as boycotting the businesses and putting them out of business and then opening your own to compete. because the system will find ways to still not give them the loans or rezone them so they can't open a business or not grant the business licenses. And suppliers are literally conspiring against Black people who have managed to open a business in their own community to not supply to them because they don't want Black people competing with the Asian American owned businesses in the community. So I wish that I had more to offer in the way of solutions, but I really don't. But please do not gaslight Black people with respect to what the issue is.
So I'll tell you this, sweetheart, we don't need your solutions. I appreciate you telling us the problem, but the solutions are poo-poo, right? Like I said, first of all, let's talk about real solutions. Let's get into that first part that I just mentioned. I jumped the gun on that because it's such a big deal to me, right? Access. When you look and you look to see what is it that Asian Americans have, do Asian Americans have some special thing that we can't get? Yes. But do they have some special magic? Are they treating us so well in their stores that we have to show up? No. They come with the money not just from the United States, but they're also organizations funded from their countries of origin that help them to buy businesses in the U.S. This is real. They have access to a manufacturing space that has high capacity and high diversity of products to bring low-cost goods into our space. However, and this is what's important, that access has not necessarily been restricted by Asian Americans, neither by Asians. And look, family, we need to talk the truth. That access is being limited more often by the same people who caused the problem. There are white Americans limiting your ability to be able to bring product in and out of Asia like other Asians do. A lot of us have the wherewithal and the ability. Some of us are earning enough money to be able to purchase product. But when we go into these markets, we go there. Like if you've ever been to China, been to the Canton Fair, you ever been to Malaysia, been to like the MIFF, the furniture show, if you've ever been in Uzbekistan to the textile show, if you've ever been in these other places or in Korea to the build show, then you would know that you probably don't see any Black people there. But outside of all of that, and I want you to see it, so let's look at it real quick. I want to show you what it looks like, okay? This is the Canton Fair. This is the numbers from the Canton Fair. This year, 2023, 800,000 foreigners showed up to China to buy Chinese goods. Don't let nobody mislead you and you think that people aren't going to China to still buy stuff. They really are. They really are. But the level of access, and you see this picture, this is their main picture. You can't blame them for what the picture looks like. A white guy, two white guys sitting with a bunch of Chinese people and a white lady, because that's who shows up. As much as you're being told that you need to get some kind of supplier account with another Asian or with another white American, you don't need that. What you need is to get access to the manufacturer directly. You need to be able to do what they're doing. You need to get on a plane. And you need someone to educate you on how to navigate that space. First of all, I'm going to tell you that from me, my perspective, even this video right here, I'm in Asia right now shooting this video. I'm sitting in Kazakhstan. I'm looking out my window. We're here. We were at these fairs this year. And we were here to bring you. I invite you all. And for anyone who doesn't know how to navigate, that's what we are here for. All of our members in the Freedom Nation know how to navigate these spaces because they have us. They don't have to know it. They just have to come to us, and we are dedicated to making sure they can navigate. If a Freedom Nation citizen calls us tomorrow and says, I need to buy this, we say, here's the country you can buy it from. Here's the name of the person. Here's the village. And matter of fact, we'll go out there ourselves and check it. That's access. That's a solution. That's when you got people looking out for you in your best interest. That's when you start to make black people powerful and strong. Why? I'm gonna dial back a little bit, and I love numbers, so this is the source, Minority Business Development Agency, and here is the issue. Now this one is African American owned firms, okay? This one is all minority owned firms, and this one is Asian owned firms, okay? I want to look at just the fact sheet. Let's just say for one particular state. Let's say Georgia. I want to say Georgia for a reason, because we all believe Atlanta is like the place of black-owned businesses, right? That is the spot. But look even inside of Georgia. When I look at Asian-owned firms, there are only 81,000 of them. They don't outnumber us. We have 319,000 firms inside of Georgia, in Georgia. However, when you look at those that are making enough money to hire employees, there are 21,000 of theirs and 9,000 of ours. The disparity between the ability to earn money is humongous. It's because of their access. They have access to more than we do. And basically, like I said, when you stop for a minute and you look at who is blocking this access, it's not them. They have the invitation. There you go. 20,000 trade visitors came from 140 countries to the Malaysian International Furniture Fair. I'm gonna tell you, I went there. I was there myself, and I started to buy furniture at the Malaysian Trade Fair. And I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not even gonna tell you what the prices are. I'm just gonna tell you how amazingly different it is than what you're paying. And there's not a particular anybody supplier in the U.S. that can give you the ability to really compete with this access. So that's the next thing that we have to have access to. Not just access, but we need low cost. This is a real solution. We need low cost. We need to be able to buy things at their lowest level. In places like Asia, what's happened, and so people get paid a similar amount in Asia and Africa, everything else. Why don't we supply directly from Africa? Because at this time, today, we don't have the abundance of products and manufacturing capacity. We don't have the diversity of the things that we like to buy and the things we need to sell. That will not always be the case, but it is today. And so today, we need access to low costs, and we need those low costs on everything: shipping, duties, freight. We need those low costs on logistics, on all of that. We need access to these places and everything that comes up out of them. But once again, the reason that you see them profiling, putting out the white people is because I was at this fair. This is one of the lead furniture fairs in the world where you can gain access to manufacturers. And I'm telling you, I saw 2 black people the whole time. 3 days, 2 black people. The one brother I saw first was working, it looked like for Haverty's or something like that. So he was there. He gained access to buy for a white supplier. The other brother I saw was just kind of doing the exact same thing. He worked for somebody else, white company. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I did grab his card. It was really quick. I guess I did talk to him, but very quickly, right? I didn't see any other black independent furniture buyers inside the Malaysian International Furniture Fair. So let's get this straight. An Asian country issued you an invitation. An Asian country said, come, you can buy directly from us. They gave you access, but somehow we're not represented. That's not just a them problem, that's a us problem, right? And that means that the solution is partially within us. We're here. We give an easy pathway. You become a citizen of the Freedom Nation, and boom, we automatically give you access to everything we have access to. Every market, every vendor, everything. Everyone in our staff goes to work for you, the whole 9. So the solution, I'm sorry, the sister solution about, kowtowing under this system that's down here in the U.S. and then we just fall in somewhere, hell no. We need to be up here. We need to be the major players, the big dogs, the tops, the boom coons, the aces, everything else. And here's what's important. Once we gain access, once we have low costs, We should be able to rebrand those things and sell them into Asia. Sell them into here. So we need to be here. We want to make their money and put it in our community. We don't want to just take our money and put it in our community. And we don't want you to gift us with the ability to take our money and put it back in our community. We want your money. We want your money. Just like my man say on the line, give me your cornbread. I want your money and put it back in my community. And that's what access to low cost everything allows us to do. So this is way more important for black people. This helps us at a whole nother level. This accelerates us beyond anything you're talking about. This don't make us the peons. It makes us the leaders and the controllers of our situation and gives us full access and authority. So after access, after low cost, we need knowledge. That's what it is. Now, let's hinder on this knowledge thing for a minute. Knowledge. Where did most of this stuff come from? When white people came out of Europe, they didn't even have a plumbing system. They didn't know how to take their poop away from their house. They found that out from the Berbers, from those black Moors that taught them how to have a plumbing system. Truth be told, at the time, we were making pipes from clay. But when they took them, and those pipes used to crack and everything else. But what happened is you take black people, you took their knowledge from them, and then you subdued us so that we could not be able to go ahead and do things to grow our own knowledge. And you used our knowledge in an evil way. We gave it to you in peace and love. We gave it to you to share because we cared about humanity. We taught you how to make gunpowder. And then you used that gunpowder, mass produced it with the intent of then coming back and taking from us. So at the core and the root, it's our information, our knowledge. And then it was taken from us, and then as knowledge does, it was allowed to grow. Because whoever takes knowledge is allowed to expand it and modernize it. Like Booker T. Washington said, the best thing for black people is for us to be able to grab a process at its highest level, at its most modern state. That's how you pay us back. And we don't want you to pay us back like this. No, we're going to take that. Because the knowledge at this point don't even live in the United States. The knowledge lives in Asia. This is real. White people have spent the last 50 years depositing knowledge of their manufacturing process inside of China. And China has been able to do exactly what they did to us. They didn't do it evilly. They didn't do it by oppression. They did it by speed. They did it by process. And quite frankly, they did it because inside their own community, they shared the information with each other, forcing people to actually create something new to compete instead of just locking it down in a patent or something. Because of that attitude, China has some of the most advanced manufacturing processes in the entire world. And no one has more rights to go back and gain that knowledge than black people. Black Americans, the diaspora, mostly. So the exchange for this is when you give us access, meaning we don't give, we come in. The access has been given. You see, the shows are there. We've been invited in. People give you visas. They let you set up. We've got an office here in Asia. We're focused on bringing you in. All you got to do is become a member from us, and then all of a sudden we take care of you. We'll bring you into this place. Most of the folks and the people that came in with us, I can show you what that looks like. That's not a problem. Let's remove my little words. What that looks like is this. We've brought our members into Asia. We've taken that hold. That's our office there in Kazakhstan. We've given access to our people. We've gone directly to the fields in Asia and pulled our product directly from the field. That's me doing it right there. We've been out there. That's me out there with the cattle ranchers in the middle of the cold, pulling out things that belong to us. All of the stuff that you will need to know about. All the stuff that goes into your products. That's us signing the deals. That's us on the Chinese border. This is what Freedom Nation does, the work we do. We gave access to low-cost spaces. We bring you in. We put you on the floor. Oh, you weren't supposed to see that. We hang out. We're big boys when we come into town. We stand tall everywhere we go. We ain't nobody's damn employee. We don't want to sit underneath you. We want to work with you. At most, at best, we want to be your peers. At least we would like to be peers, and we are your peers. But at most, quite honestly, we want to take the knowledge that we've gained and the things that we've access to be our own superior state of people. We want to lead. We want to guide. You know, when we go into Pakistan or India or whatever, we want to be right there next beside you, not sitting inside you telling us. When we deal with the Uyghur situation, these are our Uyghur buddies. You know, we want to be close to them. We want them to be buddy. When we want to stand inside your factory, we want to sit inside of your warehouse, and we want to know what the hell is going on. We want to make direct deals with your postal services. We want to connect with your people and have our direct relationships. We don't want to be no sub nothing to nobody. If you want to come to our house, bring us product. Just like these young ladies doing in my house. Bring us product. Show us what's going on. Tell us the source. Put us in touch with everything else. We're not here to subdue to you. And if we do that,
you heard
we
me
bring
tell a
our
lot of
sisters.
folks about being on the border. This is your brother Faruq Hunter, Freedom Nation. I'm here. You've seen me have these conversations about being on the border. And then I asked brothers and sisters, I said, okay, look, we're on the border. We're trying to get more black businesses to come down and realize what it means to own their space on the border, to have their own relationship. This place offers a relationship outside of whatever the heck is happening in the U.S. There are certain laws and rules that help us to usurp all of the drama that they're going through with China.
Yes.
This puts us on the border with China. Us on the border with China. And you've heard me talk about it, and you probably look at me like, oh, what are you talking about? He's just sitting somewhere, you know, inside of a studio somewhere or whatever, this and that. This is Shanette Williams. She ain't got nothing to say to you but the truth. Right, you here, we brought you here to Kazakhstan. You're part of the Freedom Nation. You're a citizen of the Freedom Nation. She's one of the early investors inside the project. You know, I want you to hear from her lips.
Yes, it's real, guys. It's real. I'm here. I am living proof. I'm standing on the border, the Chinese border right now. I'm standing here. So from me to you, look into it. It's real. I'm so excited. Like, I don't even have words.
Let's explain what's behind us. Behind us, these are the trucks that are growing over. There's a big crane here. This is what this thing is up here. There's a crane.
No reason to go further than that, right? Real Solutions is taking you and putting you in the positions of power, standing you at the border, building our own developments, giving you access, and then putting us close enough. This is our actual development. We're further than this now. This was last year in September, where we actually are building an entire manufacturing community for African Americans only on the Chinese border with the intention of receiving their knowledge back into us, taking you into the manufacturer, getting you the tools, giving you the machinery, teaching you so that you can put it back in the U.S. and have it there on the border so you can put your products back in their country. That's the solution. Solution ain't worrying about whether or not one of the Asian American companies that are inside the black community give us a job. What I want to do is I want every product in that Asian American business inside of my black American community to be selling black products. Then you can do what you want. You're selling black products, you buy from us, then you can sell to us. We don't have to have no problem. And you can say what you like. You curse out one of us, you talk to one of us in a nasty way, let us come in as suppliers, and then let us restrict your supply because you no longer want to treat us well. That's a power move. Damn any other situation. I don't want to be nobody's subject. We at Freedom Nation, this is where I cap it off. We've started what we call the Black Competitiveness Initiative. In this initiative, we are doing just that, giving black people access, giving them low costs, and making sure that there's knowledge transfer from the people who have the most advanced manufacturing methodologies in the world back to black people so that we can build the manufacturers of the future in the United States as well as abroad. Our right of return is to the world, and we deserve as black people to work with direct access to resources. We've started a fulfillment company that's focused on saving you costs. We built and we are building more manufacturing, fulfillment, and sourcing facilities on the border of China and inside of Asia. It ain't just about China. We initially want to gain that access, then we want to have low costs, and we want to build our knowledge so that we can expand, so that the next generation of black people can have access all over the world. These are the facilities, they're open. All we ask is that you just become a member of the Freedom Nation. It's the most inexpensive, simplest thing to do, with a humongous platform of ways to give you access, of ways to lower your costs, of ways in order to ensure that you get proper knowledge transfer and that knowledge stays in the black community after that so that we can grow. Because the last thing I want is for you to hand me a damn thing. I, as should every other black person, want to be in control of our future. We want to control what is happening in our communities. We want you not to respect us because we asked you to, but because you must in order to survive. That is the solution, and that is my response to our dear Asian sister trying to hip the world about exactly why things are a little off. But I'm going to hip you about the solutions so that we can truly move forward. It's your brother Faruq Hunter from the Freedom Nation. As always, I wish you the best. I wish you love. I wish you peace. And I hope for your success. Join us so that we can grow together.